All right, High Spot Podcast here, Wrestle Pro, Rahway, New Jersey. We are joined by LSG. LSG, what is going on, man?
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me.
All right, so from Ring of Honor, also across all the country, talk about your experience in professional wrestling. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. So I've been wrestling for about 6.5, 7 years. I started here in New Jersey. I trained at Ace up in Union City. Made my way down to the Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey. And then through the factory, I did a Ring of Honor camp and started training at Ring of Honor, and now I am part of the Ring of Honor roster. So it's been quite a journey. It's bouncing around different schools.
And how does it feel? Like, when did you get the itch to say, hey, this is something I want to do for my career? This is something that I love. It's a passion. When did you get the itch?
I always loved wrestling, but it wasn't until high school that I really thought maybe this is something I could do. I would actually come here to the rec center for wrestling. I would actually go down to the Inman Sports Club to watch Ring of Honor. And I think my first show was in 2005 at Final Battle. And I remember walking in and it blew my mind. And I was like, wow, this is something I want to do. I think the main event was Low-Ki versus Kenta at Final Battle. So that was mind-blowing, and it kind of changed the course of my life from wanting to play baseball to wanting to be a pro wrestler.
So you're a baseball guy?
Yes, I'm a baseball guy.
What's your team?
Let's go Mets.
Oh, man. So today is a tough day.
Yeah, it is. It is a tough day. If I'm a Yankee fan, be very grateful. But me as a Mets fan, it's very upsetting. Oh, very, very upsetting. As always. 'Cause our owners don't make moves, man. Come on.
But I got to hand it to this. I guess we kind of like getting our hearts broken. That's why I'm a Mets fan. Dude.
Yeah.
Sandy, come on. Something. Sterling Castro, something. You know what I mean?
He needs all the help he can get, basically, right now.
I don't even want to hear about that right now. Like, Sterling Castro, come on.
This is like the A-Rod signing.
If we
Bang
pick
the
him
table.
up, people are going to just say that we're picking up Yankee rejects. Yeah. We can't do that. We can't. Spend some money. Let's go.
And we've been, of course, suffering for a long time. But, just talk about also, too, Ring of Honor now. Final Battle's coming up next week. So talk about that. Talk about preparation for it. Talk about, what we can expect for that great thing. We're going to be in attendance, too. And talk about the atmosphere of the Manhattan Center, too, and what it's like there for the New York crowd, Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I competed once in the Hammerstein Ballroom, and it was unreal, especially growing up and attending Ring of Honor shows there. To actually step foot in that place and perform is just unreal. Next weekend is going to be amazing. Cody and Dalton is going to be something special, something very special. So I'm rooting for Dalton because the Bullet Club keeps messing with me personally, and Shaheem and Coast to Coast and Flip. So we're rooting for Dalton to take him down. And one of my trainers, Punishment Martinez, is going for that TV title. So I'm rooting for him. We're not on the card for Final Battle, but we will be there in attendance for Philadelphia for TV taping the next day. So please come check it out, support Coast to Coast, because we're going to be bringing down the house. We need to finally get a win, because if we don't, we might have to go our separate ways. We might.
Now you mentioned baseball and being a Met fan. Yeah, obviously, you're used to dealing with disappointment. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that. But there's obviously people you look at growing up, and when you want to be a baseball player, I want to be just like this person, that person. Who was that for you in professional wrestling?
Well, I was a big Ring of Honor TNA guy, so I loved AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe. Those are the three guys I looked at. And especially with AJ's size, I thought maybe I could relate to that and I can move that way. And I was a similar athlete like him, so I definitely looked at him as an inspiration growing up.
Have you had a chance to meet AJ at all?
Yes, yeah. I've met him a few times.
Solid dude, right? Down to earth, very good teacher.
Yeah, great guy. Great guy.
So 2017 is a few weeks, from ending. 2018 is on the horizon. I want to wish you happy holidays. But also, too, what do we have in store for 2018? What does it have in store for you? What do you want to improve on? What basically do you want to do? What is your goal for 2018? What's your resolution?
Well, I've got three. One of them is to make a statement at Wrestle Pro and make sure that everybody here in Rahway and Brooklyn, wherever we travel to, everyone knows the name LSG. Number two is to make sure that Coast to Coast starts winning some damn matches. It's about time. It's time for us to shine. And number 3, now that I am the new Monster Factory Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, I want to take that championship all over the country, maybe overseas, maybe to a different country, and make it a world title.
You know, I saw that, by the way. Congratulations. I saw the pics on Twitter and everything like that. So congratulations for doing that. That's your first championship?
First heavyweight championship. But I held the Supersonic, which is kind of like their cruiserweight championship. It was like a 205 belt. So I had that one for a long time, and this is my first heavyweight championship.
And just about WrestlePro, and talk about the atmosphere and the feeling when you come here and you wrestle here. What makes it stand out from other wrestling organizations on the independents right now? Why do you feel so comfortable coming here to WrestlePro?
Well, I really love this place because it is professional. The professionalism is top notch, from production to the crew to the wrestlers. Everything it's a higher standard. And for me, it makes me better as a wrestler and a performer to be around these people because it bumps up my game. So being places like this or Ring of Honor, just, I take pride in being here because it is very professional.
Now, you mentioned what your goals were for 2018. Now, a lot of it would be like, for example, we go back maybe a decade and a half ago. To get your name out there, it becomes pretty difficult. It depends on who you know and how much TV time exposure you get. Now it seems to be, I wouldn't say easier because nothing's easy in this business, but it seems to be more, people are more accessible. You can be more, people can kind of relate to you and get access to you more using social media. It becomes like the modern day business card. How important is it to you, and then anybody else obviously coming up in this business, to use social media to the advantage? Obviously there are positive and negatives in anything, but how do you utilize social media to get your name out there?
Well, for one, I stay very, very active. It's daily interaction with colleagues, fans, always promoting our shows, always promoting any matches that get posted online, reposting pictures that are taken. Any kind of impression you put out there is insanely important. And if you don't use social media, you are hurting yourself, you're hurting the places you work for, and you're hurting a possible matchup that you have coming up. So why not use a free tool to, hype up your fights, your matches? I mean, you have to be active on it. And if you don't know how to use it, there are plenty of ways to learn, classes you could take. And there are a lot of guys out there that are doing it right. Study those guys.
Ring of Honor, obviously, it's a honor to be on the roster, on the active roster, to be a part of it. 2018 now, what do you see things ahead for the company going forward?
Well, besides expanding to new markets, I could see us bringing in even more talent. We could also see the young guys coming up and really showing what they can do. Man, I don't know. I mean, we're going back to probably going to go back overseas, probably back to Japan, back to Europe, and
how do you like that? How do you like Japan? Have you been to Japan yet or no?
I have not been back to. I have never been to Japan. My girlfriend's been to Japan, actually, so I'm a little jealous. So one of my goals is to go there too, so I could say I went there as well.
Actually, got the one-ups on you right now.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got the one-ups on me.
Without naming names,
Yeah.
it happens because you're in the business, you work together, so of course romance is going to bloom, right? And she's actually integral in you winning the championship,
Maybe.
from Monster Factory.
Yep.
Talk about
Depends
that.
on your perspective,
Yeah,
Jeff.
it depends on,
It's
exactly.
all opinion,
And yours doesn't matter, Jeff.
No, it doesn't. What exactly do you think, as far as the terms, how do you guys keep that dynamic there when you guys are traveling? Sometimes it's not even in the same state or the same, country. How do you guys keep that going and stuff like that and have a strong relationship?
It's definitely communication. When she was away for 2 months at Stardom, it's constant communication, just keeping each other updated, encouraging each other when things, are rough. Without the communication, it could break down. So I think we got an awesome relationship because we support each other and we always talk to each other. And
you guys break down each other's matches?
Yeah. Whenever Stardom would post up clips, I was always giving her advice and stuff. So yeah, we just try to help each other. It's why not succeed together? Help each other out.
Something I've always admired about people that get into this business, because I love it so much, and I have some respect for what you guys do out there, but it's not easy, it's not simple. If it was that easy, everybody would do it, right? That's usually what they say. Talk about in terms of the physicality in there, because it's one thing to look aesthetically pleasing for the camera, looking good, getting in shape, but there's a difference between being in shape and in ring shape right now.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do to maintain it? Because if you guys are on the road, it's really difficult to find a place to eat, find a gym. So what do you do on the time that you do have available to get yourself physically conditioned to be ready and prepared to go in the ring anytime you want to?
Well, I firmly believe in preparation and training. So for the last 4.5, 5 years, I've been at the Monster Factory maybe 3 to 4 days a week. Cut down a little bit, so I'm like 2 a week. I'm here at Wrestle Pro. I'm over at the Ring of Honor dojo. You have to find time to get in the ring. That's the only way you can ever be in ring shape. You can do all the cardio you want. You can run, you can bike, but the cardio in the ring is unlike any other cardio. So you have to find time to get in a ring every week, and I've made sure that I do that. So I surround myself with people like this, with Wrestle Pro, Ring of Honor, and the Monster Factory, because they're great facilities. And the guys, trainers here, know what they're doing. So I have great guidance and great facilities.
Has the mindset changed a little bit where everybody is always concerned, like, I got to get booked, I got to go to the next show and the next show and the next show? Is the mind changed a little bit now in the independent scene where it's like, yes, I want to do as many shows as I possibly can, but I also have to make time to rest the body because that's your vehicle, that's your tool that you use?
Yeah, definitely. I think our generation is probably the smartest generation in terms of keeping our bodies in better shape and healthier. So we need to take advantage of everything that we know about science and health, and really just realize that you can't be in a ring every single day. You can't travel every weekend. It's just not. It's not possible. We have to take care of ourselves. So I think, from experience, and the guys I surround myself with, we take care of our bodies now. We understand that down the line we can't do this forever. So we're just smarter about the way we train, smarter about getting rest, and just being smarter about the things that we do in the ring.
Trendsetter, it's amazing that we've worked this long, and finally you've actually read my mind, because that was the question I was going to ask LSG. So you beat me to it. So that shows you then, like, this tag team is actually evolving into something. So and
they say
LSG's here to witness it. So it's not, I just didn't make it up. One final for me, and we're talking to LSG, who is a up and comer, and 2018 will be the year of LSG. I can feel it.
He's
I
arrived,
get that feeling.
folks.
He's arriving. One final for me is, what's the best advice you've received in the wrestling business?
Best advice is to, let's see, keep the mouth shut, ears open, just listen. Listen to everybody you can. Even if you don't totally agree with it, listen, because you never know when you can take something that someone taught you and use it. Definitely.
It's LSG. Ring of Honor, final battle December 15th. He will be at the tapings on the 16th in Philadelphia. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time out, man.
It's awesome.
And continued
Thank you so much
success
for everything.
Thank you.
and success to the dynamic duo that you and Gabby Ortiz are. So congratulations.
Team Spicy.
Team Spicy.
Team Spicy.
And I'm going to win tonight. Let's go. Let's do it.
Thank you so much.